is the flexibility of your adductor muscles? Now, you may not be familiar with the term adductors, but what those muscles are is the muscles along your inner thigh. And quite often those muscles are very quiet and not troublesome until they act up. But even if those muscles are not acting up, as in the case of a groin strain or a pull, I think they're very important muscles to give attention to even as runners. Now, when we think about what our legs and our hips are doing while we run, our legs are basically just going forward and backward. And so it'd be very easy to dismiss those muscles as irrelevant since we're not doing much in the way of lateral movement. But I don't think that's the case, and I think there's wisdom in understanding how those muscles affect your running and how to better prepare your muscles to run appropriately. So I'm going to show you a stretch for those muscles first and then go a little more in detail about why and how those muscles are involved when you run. So in order to stretch those muscles, you're going to get down on one knee with your leg underneath you and the other foot kicks out to the side. And what you want to do is make sure that your hips are driving forward and then towards the foot that's on the floor. And as you get into that deep position, both forward with your hips and to the side, you're going to gently do some circles in that position. Clockwise or counterclockwise doesn't really matter. You're going to do some circles in that position until you feel that motion loosen up. As you do that stretch, what you should feel is an aggressive but yet comfortable and tolerable stretch in your inner thigh. And as you do that, it should feel like it loosens up. And as you rise up then from stretching that muscle, what it should feel like is that your hips are moving in some fresh ways. Now, especially for males, that's a very, very important and healthy stretch. But for females, you can also get a lot of benefit out of stretching those muscles in this way. Now, when we think about running, again, our legs are just going forward and backward. But as one leg is going forward and the other leg is still behind us, there's quite a rotation of our hips and of our pelvis. And so because of that, those muscles are actually very, very involved with running. Think about those muscles as muscles that always want to bring you back to the center. So as one leg comes forward, those muscles are the ones that are putting on the brakes and then bringing you back. And even as the other leg is extended behind your body, those muscles are also putting on the brakes that way and bringing you back to the middle. So those muscles always want to bring you back to a neutral position. And so in order to run effectively, we need those muscles to have adequate flexibility as well as enough strength to comfortably help return your legs back to the middle. And it doesn't matter if our legs are just swinging forward and backward, those muscles are going to be involved with that. And so if we want to be an efficient runner, we need to make sure that we have proper flexibility and proper use of those muscles. I think all too often it's easy to ignore those muscles and only worry about stretching your hip flexors, your quadriceps, your hamstrings, your calves. All of those are needed, but if we ignore the inner thigh muscles, again our adductors, then that could be really missing a very helpful muscle group that can make you a much more efficient runner. So thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully you find it helpful. Please reach out to me if there's any questions on this video or any other topics that we've covered. Again, the muscle group, the adductors, can be kind of a confusing muscle group, and it's easy to just sort of dismiss them. But when we understand how they work and how they can help us be better runners, that can really go a long way to making you much more efficient with each stride that you take. Please share this video with a friend who may find it helpful, and please check out the Facebook page for live sessions, for question and answer, and some direct interaction on these topics. Also, during those live sessions, we go more in depth with how to do these and other exercises, and it's a great time to ask questions directly. So thank you again for watching, and run fast, friends.